All righty. Good evening. This is Tuesday, February 25th, 2025, meeting of the Town of Berlin Planning Board. As a preliminary matter, please note this meeting is being recorded and some of the attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. That ugly band t-shirt you decided to wear tonight or anything you tend to or not screen share on your computer. This is Tom Sanford, Chair of the Planning Board. Permit me to confirm that all members of the Planning Board are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Planning Board members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jay Teach.
Here.
Timothy Wheeler.
Here.
And Tom Sanford here. With a quorum of the board present, I call this meeting to order at 7:33 p.m. Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. This is an open meeting of the Planning Board, which is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth of Mass due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Specific information and general guidelines for the remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Berlin website. The governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location and allows and encourages us to participate remotely. For this meeting, the Planning Board is convening using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, which includes links for the public to join this meeting. I'll introduce each speaker on the agenda. After their concluding remarks, I'll invite each board member by name to provide any comment, questions, penetrating insights, and/or motions. Please hold all your insights until your name is called. Board members and speakers, please remember to mute your telephone or your computer when you're not speaking. Speak clearly to ensure accurate minutes are recorded. For any response, please wait till you're yielded the floor and state your name before speaking. If a board member wishes to engage in conversation with another, please do so through me to avoid multiple conversations happening at the same time. Lastly, please note that each vote in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Thank you all for your understanding and cooperation. Do we have minutes from last time?
Probably.
I'll move them.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a move in a second. Any discussion? Any corrections? Seeing none, I'll ask you to vote to accept the minutes from our last meeting. Timothy Wheeler.
Aye.
Jay Teach.
Aye.
I'm Sanford, aye. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you. Any other mail or anything else, Mr. J, that we should be talking about?
No.
Okay.
Although I haven't been to the actual physical mailbox. I don't know if Tim has.
No, I didn't get my key yet.
I found my key. That's the good news.
All right.
So I'll be able to put one down there.
Yeah. Just leave it in the lock.
Yes, I can do that.
Most everybody else is doing that. So.
Cool.
Because I'm there usually every other week for CPA. So.
Oh. Yeah, I intend to go there every week, but
yeah, but
yeah,
but and I have to be there.
So. Having the CPA meetings in person?
No, but I meet with Maureen.
Oh.
And then we get whatever has to be done, agendas and filings with the state and all that sort of stuff.
All the fun stuff.
Are we really going to have to cease virtual meetings at the end of March?
That's what they're saying. Hybrid.
You know, when you talk to the planning commission, they say that the effort's there to try to make it permanent, but I don't know, and it's been included in some of the legislation, I guess, but it hadn't been acted on, at least not yet.
That'll be sad. I enjoy this.
Well, you know, this
it's a long drive.
We meet remotely on CPA, the Regional Planning Commission. All our meetings are remote, and I think we get. I mean, you think about an engineer having to come into one of our meetings for a 10-minute presentation, driving you know, an hour and a half round trip, that's nuts, you know?
Well, if it's
Exactly.
hybrid, they can be remote, right?
Right.
But if we do have to go in, don't we get mileage? We get paid
Yeah.
for mileage, right?
Yeah,
It's not all bad.
no,
Oh, God. You can't even buy a cup of coffee with the reimbursement you're gonna get.
Used to be able to.
Used to, not anymore. Mm-mm. Okay,
So
so,
we don't really have a lot on the agenda, but we've got, you know, you put these two kind of placeholders in for the warrant articles.
mhm,
Um, and I guess we got some time to discuss and edit those. But we're missing two kind of important members.
Yeah.
Night. I'm not sure this is a great night to be doing that.
I mean, my sense is we can send them around to everybody. We could send it to Jane at Central Mass, because the the DLTA money that we voted to expend was, one of the projects was to help towns review their ADU bylaws. So we could certainly send ours to her. She'd look at it, throw some ideas back at us, you know, and we can continue to look at it, and, you know, we've still got time. And then Katie evidently reached out to Kristen. I think did you see that, Jay?
Well, I've been going back and forth with Katie, and I told her what we
Yeah,
were
you
doing.
told her. And then she got
Uh,
in touch with Kristen, and then I sent her a copy of what we drafted up. So
Okay,
so
good.
she's got it. She's going to look at it too. Um, so having feedback from, I can send the ADU one to Jane if you want, and just say, hey,
So did I sent an email, but then it just kind of, I've had trouble with Outlook and it kind of vaporized. Did you get an email on Monday from me with the warrant article with the whole thing, 5 pages or something?
um, I don't think I did,
Tom?
I don't think I did either.
Oh, I'll resend it then.
but
I hadn't put a
Yesterday?
title on it
It
and I
came
clicked.
yesterday?
It would have come
yeah,
early in the morning on Monday, yeah.
Yesterday? No, I did not.
All right, I'm gonna send it again.
yeah,
Got the official form and then the document behind it with all of
yeah.
our
I even
various
filled out the
changes.
official form this time. I've never done that before.
Oh,
You're a
Nice.
good influence.
Oh, you should send me what you submitted, Tim, so I can put it in the
Yep.
minutes.
So I'll send that to everybody.
Yep.
And then you'll resend what you did for the ADU.
Yep.
Good. I mean, the
So,
nice thing is that in both cases, it's really something that has to be done in order to comply with what the state's done on both levels. So the state and the Fed. So it's not,
yeah, the flood one, I think we could do a little or a lot, but why not
yeah,
bring it up to compliance, you know? We just have we have a bunch of decisions we got to make though.
on the flood or on both?
On the Well, a few on the ADU and a few on the flood, yeah.
yeah.
Because, you know, when are you
Jay and
allowed
I
to put a
talked,
floodway and how much can you cause a 1 foot rise or no rise and a
Yeah.
few things like that? Do you have to have an engineer stamp? There's, I don't know, a few things.
Jay and I talked too about and you know, we've always referred to the rate maps, and then if the rate maps change and you don't update your bylaw, then you're out of sync. And I said to Katie, is there any way to suggest that the language in the bylaw links you to whatever's most current on the federal level or the state level? So as that changes, the link is always up to date. And so you don't have to keep going back and messing around with your bylaw. So we'll see what she says about that.
Yep, that would be good.
Hmm.
And what are we going to do about those houses that were built in the floodplain? We have to knock them down, right?
Yeah.
Raise them up. Put them on stilts.
It's-
So you said that, how many did you identify that you thought were in the floodplain?
I was only looking in one little area and the one I saw, because I was comparing the FEMA maps to this private company.
Yeah.
And I don't know if either one of them are right, but the house that's for sale on Central Street on one of the maps seemed to be underwater every 100 years. On the other one, it wasn't. So in some cases, the private company data makes the floodplain look bigger, and in other cases, it makes it look smaller.
Hmm.
And I think what they're doing, they talk about all these different sources of data and this big model they have and all that. But I'm not sure what the data is, whether it's satellite data or something. I don't know where they're getting it, you know.
Hmm.
And I'm guessing that whatever data they're getting maybe has a little higher resolution because it might be newer, but that's probably not true, right? You would think that FEMA would be up to date with, if the topographic data changed, they would be updating their model. But I don't know.
Oh, I think they'd have to. I mean, you think about all of the, the banks and everybody else that rely on maps like that to, I would think they'd have to have the latest and greatest, or they'd be open for lawsuits. all over
Well,
the
man, but it's interesting that it's a little bit different between the two,
place.
and they're sort of competing. I think the
Mm.
private company is trying to get the banks to use their
Go
data.
with them, yeah.
And theirs includes coastal, which the maps we're using don't. Like coastal and inland are seen to be different.
Mhm.
And then the FEMA one has a lot of language about your ATVs and all your off-road vehicles that you have to chain down if you're going to park them in the floodplain, so they don't go floating down and end up in somebody's living room.
Yeah.
And I have seen ATVs, that farm you go by on the way when you come into town up on the hill. It seems some guy and his kids riding ATVs there.
Mm.
I bet they're not chained down either, but it's on the top of the hill, so it's okay.
It's all right.
If that floods, we got a real big problem.
I sent around what the state had sent to us in regard to the EEA grant,
Yeah.
and it sounds like they're close to being able to make final decisions, but it's months late. It's crazy.
It's a lot worse in other places, like in the NIH grants.
Well, and NRCS, they're I guess they're saying be cautious about, talk to us about what you're going to dig into. I've got an NRCS grant right now that I haven't spent any money on it yet. It's for 3 years, and I thought I better wait.
What is NRCS?
Natural Resource and Conservation Service. So it's part of USDA, and they have an office in Holden that the Farm Service Agency and rural developments there, and then NRCS is there as well. So I got a grant to control invasive species.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean, you've seen what's happening with bittersweet and all these other things. I mean, it's real.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's impacting
Milkweed.
woodlots, and
Yeah.
so that they help you on a 3-year schedule, bring in some people that understand the best practices, and then you work with them, and then you can continue on after that. So,
Do they do any work, or they just give you advice, or what?
yeah, no, they do the fairly intensive work the first year. I mean, you select the amount of acreage. We picked like 15 acres of land where when the forester was here doing the management plan the last time, he identified the hot spots that needed to be addressed first. And we decided we wouldn't bring a forester in, anybody to come in and do a timber stand improvement, a cut at all, because it would continue to spread a lot of the problem. And so we're trying to
Oh.
control the invasives before we bring in the loggers, so. But,
So it applies to logging land, whatever, woodlots.
yeah, so if you're under 61A and you want to include your woodlot, you've got to have a forest management plan that's updated every 10 years.
Oh, I think I read that.
So we've had management plans for 50 years now, probably. And the last one called out the invasives and said, something has to be done with these before we do any logging. And in order to do that appropriately, I applied for this grant and got it. And now I'm sort of saying, well, I got to be careful. I can't spend money I'm not going to get some reimbursement on. So
Yeah, will they do fields or other non-productive woodlots or anything?
I don't know. In our case, because we've got a conservation plan that's been in existence for, 50 years, and the wood and the forest management plans have been there, it sort of elevates your eligibility.
Oh,
And they look, I mean, in this case, it was really woodlots, but they look along field edges, of course, because that's where a lot of the activities happen, and the bittersweets, really.
that's where our biggest problem is. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just can't. You chop it all out and it comes back the next year.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So,
killing trees and.
yep.
Hmm.
I'll ask them about field lots, and stuff when I
Yeah,
talk.
that'd be interesting because I mean, the big field that everybody sits at the top of, all the way around that entire thing is just loaded with bittersweet and the multiflora rose and stuff.
Yep.
And then the middle of it's full of milkweed.
Yeah.
So
So
we got
what
rid
else
of
was?
poison ivy.
Oh, and then the other thing we were going to do was Thomas was going to draft up language for us to send to the select board and Kristen about the mall and Marlboro and stuff.
Mhm.
I guess he gets back the end of this coming week. So hopefully he drafts something that we can look at next time.
Yeah, we still haven't written our annual report yet. Nobody's chasing me. What's that mean? They've given up on us?
Oh,
For
but
us?
they give up on you, and then at the annual town meeting, you have to make your report verbally in order to be compliant. I think
Uh-oh.
that's what it, maybe Eloise will enlighten us as to what happens when you don't file your annual report.
And we'll see
Look
if
at
I
that, hand raised.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Eloise. There she is.
Now it says mute.
Oh, now we can hear you,
Now we
though.
can hear you.
Anyway, you have to stand up at town meeting, read your report, turn it into me, and then I have to make it available to whoever wants a copy of it. But lately, what I've been doing is just posting it online as part of the meeting. The thing is that you're telling the public, and that way you can continue going on.
You have to wear a chicken suit?
Yeah,
No, but that would be fun.
Yeah.
Thomas did that one year.
And the clerk has to
Thomas
do it,
did it
right?
one year.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Well, it's not a huge project. The problem for me is I've got this stack of office work I need to do.
So
Yeah. It's to the top.
did you send the minutes to Thomas?
I did. I sent the whole year all in a PDF. I can send it to you guys too,
Why don't
and if you wants it,
send it to me and I'll write up something.
that would be great.
I mean, just so you don't have to stand up at town meeting, although I'd enjoy that, I don't wish it on anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, send it to me. I'll write something up.
that would be wonderful. I will send it tonight.
I can make stuff up too, so,
Yeah, why not?
yeah.
It's okay now, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So town report, the project with Marlboro, the 2 articles, the EEA grant. What else that's it, isn't it?
It is.
I think so.
Do you think Lynn is in the audience for a reason, or should I move to adjourn before she gets a chance? She didn't raise her hand. She just didn't have anything to do tonight, huh?
So boring, we put her to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, she's quiet. I'll move we adjourn. What the heck?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and it's non-debatable, so I'll ask you to vote. This is to adjourn the meeting. Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Jay Teach,
I
Tom Sanford, aye. Motion carries unanimous.